Greetings to everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Salish Reddy, very excited to be here virtually with my team. Today, we have an exciting presentation related to a topic that is not just relevant but crucial in today's fast paced business environment. Before we start with the presentation, let me introduce my team with you all. Our team name is Hexaforce, where Hexa represents 6 and we 6 are the force behind this project. Agenda for this project starts with introduction, followed by problem statement, research methodology, industry background, analysis, recommendation, and ends with conclusion. In today's highly competitive business environment, every company wants to increase its profitability and operate more effectively. Profitability can be increased mainly in two ways. The first way is by increasing the sales, and the second way is by reducing the cost. Pursuing higher sales requires more production and additional cost, including manufacturing and raw material cost. Although optimization can be used to some extent, but compromising on quality is not an appropriate strategy. Consequently, the focus shifts to the second part, which is reducing the cost of goods sold. Post COVID-19, the need to optimize cost has been core focus of almost every business. This need on achieving cost effectiveness is the driving force behind our project. This is the reason our project title is Cost Effective Business Management Practices and Implementation. There are many industries which can be considered for this study, but we targeted FMCG industry because end consumer action directly impacts on FMCG industry, and FMCG industry can be managed more efficiently without negatively impacting the bottom line. There are many ways to improve cost efficiency in FMCG industry, like automation, digitalization, relocation of office spaces, outsourcing, cutting production cost, space optimization, reducing supply chain expenses, and HR practices. Among all these ways to improve cost efficiency, we will focus on HR practices. This study will primarily focus on enhancing HR practices, especially in the recruitment process. Study of FMCG sector show that employee cost alone involves 20 to 30% of the company's total cost, which is very significant. Improvement in this area can therefore not only lead to cost saving but can also save time and resources. We will understand in depth about this industry and analysis in the following section by my fellow two teammates. Next section will be presented by my teammate Abhinav. Over to you, Abhinav. Thank you.
Thank you, Sailesh. In current post-COVID era, competitive environment has increased the importance of profit in business sustainability. Out of the many options that we have, resource optimization has been singled out as a key to profitability. In FMCG industry, the employee costs alone are a substantial part of overall cost, ranging from 20 to 30% of all expenditure. As a result, managing manpower becomes an important task of HR because it directly becomes a vital role in company success. A crucial aspect of managing manpower is to take a decision between internal promotions or external hiring. In this project, we analyze the different aspects of internal promotions versus external hiring towards their contribution to business profitability. To analyze our problem, our research methodology data included data collection via primary and secondary sources. Primary sources included discussions with corporate consultants and industry subject matter experts to venture deep into the problem and understand the current scenario. Secondary data was collected from different sources publicly available online such as online case studies, refurbished consultant reports, government dossiers, corporate annual reports, corporate investor presentations, research publications, and white papers. All data that we gathered was deeply analyzed to provide information on understanding of pros and cons of each internal promotions and external hiring. Statistical data is curated to support cost effectiveness of each parameter. Also, the data was analyzed to understand the effect of internal promotion and external hiring on employee performance characteristics. Further, we took an advantage of the type of data that we gathered by segregating it into quantitative data with tangible statistics and qualitative data with effects of internal promotions and external hiring on performance on employees, which indirectly affects the cost and performance of the industry. That would be all from my side. Over to you, Sheshagiri.
Thanks, Abhinav, for explaining on research methodology. I'm Seshagiri Sharma. In next few minutes, I'm going to explain the background of FMCG sector. To start with, GDP per capita. Why GDP per capita and what is GDP per capita? Why it is so important? Because GDP per capita accounts for population size and wealth distribution across the nation. Per capita income is a more accurate measure of a nation's economic progress. Even if a nation may have a high GDP and a large population, its residents may not necessarily have a high standards of living, which translates to high disposable income. Now we look at few stats on GDP per capita of few countries. This is as per the World Bank data. United States, as on 2022, the GDP per capita is $76,000. And if you look at Asian counterpart, China, as on 2022, their GDP per capita is $12,600. And if you look at the data of India, we are at $2,335. Okay. This graph talks about last 5 years, how our GDP per capita income fed across. So if you look at from 2018 to 2022, our GDP per capita is hovering around 2,000 to $2,300. It is pretty much 10% increase from past few years. And if you look at the estimates as per the World Bank, so we are expected to grow, by next 5 years till 4,000 US dollars as per GDP per capita. It means if you look at 2000 as our benchmark, we will be doubling on our GDP per capita within few years. Although India is a developing nation, the GDP has grown at steadily over few years, but still GDP per capita needs to be increased. Yeah. And recently World Bank also released statistics which puts India as a steady growth rates compared to all other countries. As we discussed, GDP per capita going to increase and disposable income is going to increase. We have chosen a sector FMCG for our project. And if you look at the split of FMCG, so home and personal care has 50% market share, followed by healthcare and is at 31%, followed by 19% for food and beverages. This is of FMCG industry. And recently we have seen 7.5% growth April to June of FMCG, which is a very good growth as far as FMCG sector is concerned. If you look at the FMCG market share in India, so it is stacked from small to high, and Dabur stands at 2% of the market share, followed by Godrej and Nestle, and the highest player in FMCG is HUL, which is at 12% and 14% ITC. And uh, 75% of the FMCG belongs to these 10 players, and others, there are very small in size, that share belongs to 26. As we discussed, FMCG sector itself will contribute to 5 to 10% of the GDP, and it generates 3 million employment. FMCG sales in India is mostly dominated by rural markets, which contributes 60% of the sales. And as per some industry experts, FMCG sector alone gonna grow 20% CAGR for next 4 5 years. Earlier, we've seen World Bank statistics that is also saying that within 4 to 5 years, GDP per capita going to double. At the same pace, FMCG sector is also expected to grow at around 20% CAGR. So, as consumption is going to increase and FMCG sales going to increase, in the same way, the recruitment is also going to increase.
Hello, my name is P. Venkatrao, and I'm going to discuss about the need and various methods for cost optimization in FMCG industry. In today's scenario, the businesses have become highly competitive and they have to work efficiently and effectively to increase their profitability. Profitability can be increased in two ways, either by increasing the sales or by bringing down the cost. In this presentation, we will focus on how to reduce the cost and increase the profitability. There are different strategies of cost optimization, namely automation and digitalization, outsourcing, relocation of office spaces, reducing supply chain expenses, cutting down the production cost, using effective time strategies, space optimization, and optimizing the human resource. In the presentation ahead, we will discuss deeply on the optimization of human resources. Hiring as an important task for human resource department. Hiring is a process wherein the human resource department fills in the open job vacancies to ensure there is no loss in productivity and profitability. Hiring can be done in two ways. First, internal promotion or external hiring. Internal promotion, as the name suggests, is the process by which a company chooses to promote or transfer an existing employee to a new position within the organization. This decision may be due to the employee expressing interest in the available position or the management indicating that the current employee is suitable for the new job role. This approach ensures that internal employee is given a chance to prove himself that he is capable for the new job position. The pros of internal promotion are it reduces the hiring cost as there are no external agencies involved, so the company has nothing to pay to the external agencies, thereby bringing down their cost of hiring. As the employee is familiar about the company's culture and the process, the hiring process also gets shortened. And on the other side, the company has also a clear performance history of the employee. This process provides a career development opportunity to the employees. Cons of internal promotion are it creates a need to hire for another role. It also impacts the employee morale and there could be a change in interpersonal behavior of the fellow colleagues. Also, acceptance for the fellow colleagues may be lower and it limits ideas and fresh thought processes. External hiring is the process by which businesses select employees from outside of their organization to perform a specific task. This approach is widely used, allowing companies to expand and offer potential employment opportunities to new individuals in the workforce. Pros of external hiring are it diversifies the staff and the culture, it adds new skills to the company, new ideas, new perspectives, which enhance the company. It manages employee workload since the external hiring is done from an expanded talent pool. It ensures that the competitiveness is maintained in the employees. Cons of external hiring are extended onboarding time to improve productivity. It increases the recruitment cost, extended gestation period, additional training and induction cost, affects the morale of internal employees who are capable and but not given the opportunity to get promoted. It all can also impact on the cultural fit as the new employee coming from outside may have worked in a different culture. Now, my team member Mr. Rajesh will take us further. Thank you.
Thank you, Venkat. Now I would like to discuss about the quantitative and qualitative analysis with respect to internal and external hiring. Here are some of the quantitative matrices that were considered. The first one is retention rate. In a study conducted by prominent Indian job portal, it was discovered that in the FMCG industry, employees who received promotions from within stayed with the organization for a long time. As you can see from the graph that shows 5 years trend, although there is a declining trend in retention rate over the years, the percentage of retention rate remains higher for internal hiring in comparison to external hiring in FMCG sector. The second metric that is considered is time taken to be productive. From the graph, it can be seen that internal hires take 20 to 30% less time to be productive compared to external hires in FMCG sector. This is attributed to their familiarity with company's culture, values, processes. The third metric that is considered is training cost. As it can be seen that external hires in FMCG sector in India generally experience higher training cost compared to internal hires. This is because the external hires have to undergo training on company's culture, value, processes, as well as the specific skill and knowledge essential for their new role. The final metric that is considered is recruitment cost. From the graph, it can be seen that FMCG sector in India, the external hires have more recruitment costs compared to internal hires over the past 5 years. This is due to the various expenses associated with external hiring, including advertising, recruitment agency fees, and relocation expenses. Coming to qualitative analysis, the first metric that is considered is cultural fit. Organizational culture plays a pivotal role in shaping the long-term experiences and well-being of employees. Multiple studies have shown that organizations that prioritize cultivating a positive and inclusive culture resulted in higher employee satisfaction, higher profitability, lower employee turnover, higher employee satisfaction scores, higher customer satisfaction rates. The second metric that is considered in qualitative analysis is career growth. Investing in career growth opportunities for employees yield numerous benefits that directly contribute to the success of the organization. This can be achieved by drawing in top talent, maximizing talent acquisition ROI by reskilling existing employees, addressing skill deficiencies by skill building initiatives, enhancing employee commitment by internal promotion, employee retention by internal mobility, and lastly, enhancing business performance as a result of growth initiatives. Over to you, Sangeeta.